Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. XRP has surged 10% against Bitcoin. This is acknowledged by none less than Peter Brandt, who is often referred to as a, quote, legendary trader for some reason. And no doubt he's earned the following that he has. I'm not going to take anything away from him on that front, but he does not like Ripple and does not like XRP. And so what happened here, interestingly, as far as XRP surging against Bitcoin, this was more or less predicted. I don't know if that's too strong a word, but there's two people right off the top of my head, and there were others that were thinking this as well that I've covered on this channel, but Leb Crypto and also Blockchain Backer, they both said, hey, more likely than not, we're going to see Bitcoin retrace. And yeah, the market will do that in all likelihood. And in fact, he even stated, they both stated in their own words that, this would probably mean that all the altcoins too would come down, but there would then be a surge after this. So we will see if the price relative to the United States dollar goes up. But what we are seeing is that Bitcoin is decreasing at a greater percentage than XRP has been decreasing relative to the United States dollar. And so, as a result, if you just look at the XRP Bitcoin pair, it's like the gap is weakening. It takes fewer XRP to purchase a Bitcoin today as a result of this. But anyway, I'll go through all this. Before we do dive in any further, though, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. And also, if you are a fan of XRP surging against Bitcoin, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, damn it. All right, as I record this, XRP is at 24.8 cents, and Bitcoin is at $14,831. Market cap is down to $426 billion. Bitcoin dominant 64.43%. And so you can see, if you care to take a look at your screen, don't feel it's not required. It's not required. You can continue to just listen. But if you look at the 24-hour column right here, the market is just down across the board to slightly varying degrees, but not that different. I mean, look, 5% there, 2% there, 3% here, whatever. And so this is not surprising. This is not the least bit surprising. I talked about this in a video quite literally yesterday. Bitcoin goes down. Analysts are saying that the market's probably going to move down, but this could present an opportunity for a little mini alt season, if you will. And to be clear, I don't have a financial background, and I'm not offering financial advice, so definitely don't buy or sell because of anything that I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about this stuff and share unprofessional opinions and make YouTube videos. That's why I'm here. But there could indeed be something to this here, and I'm not surprised to see what would happen here in terms of just the specifics of the XRP Bitcoin pair. And by the way, before I even go through this piece, I want to be clear that the analysts that I'm following here, I'm not seeing anybody say, oh my gosh, because of this pullback in the market today, the macro trend is over. Nobody's saying that. I haven't seen. If you can find somebody that believes that based on this, please let me know, and I will just make sure to never follow them on anything ever, because that just seems ridiculous. This is the one out of everything. This is the one that means that it's suddenly doomsday again. I don't think so. So I would not be willing to buy what they're selling, is what I'm saying here. But here's the headline from your crypto media outlet U Today. XRP surges 10% against Bitcoin, but Peter Brandt claims it's dead cat bounce, which is just a messed up term in the world of trading. I'll tell you, these traders, they got some weird terms. Whatever. Anyway, veteran trader Peter Brandt shared his thoughts about XRP's performance against Bitcoin and some rules for trading the weakest and strongest assets. And by the way, this does come about half a year after he said he was never going to tweet about XRP ever again, but he's broken his rule about 11 billion times. It's like XRP is living rent-free in the mind of Peter Brandt. In his recent tweets, Brandt posted a chart of XRP/BTC performance dynamics on a one-day time frame. XRP finally managed to bring a confident green candle after a prolonged, ugly decline. And there's the tweet indicating as much on the screen, which reads as follows. Dead cat bounce after 32 straight red days. The best trading practice is to be long the strongest member of a category when long, short the weakest when short. Don't be long the weakest, hoping upon hope to catch up XRP BTC. And this is where it's going to get interesting, because if he's right, that would mean that other analysts, what I cited a couple earlier in the video, Lub Crypto and Bitcoin, Blockchain Backer rather in particular, who is an XRP YouTuber and chart analyst, they both have been saying that, if you get this pullback, in all likelihood, check out what's going to happen with XRP in terms of price. They're thinking that, and not just XRP, but really just alts, would appreciate against the United States dollar at a greater pace than Bitcoin. So then it closes that gap again with the XRP BTC pair right here. And also, here's a tweet from Blockchain Backer. XRP has highest daily close in 64 days. Let's get that rotation going. And so, and this was from, it was the evening, so it's not brand new, but I still wanted to highlight this because it's just a cool fact. Even though it was yesterday before the pullback, I just thought it was a cool thing and worth highlighting here. But the rotation, this is kind of what he's talking about in terms of the way that the money's flowing. Bitcoin pullback, maybe the market all goes back in tandem, which is what happened, and that's what he said was most likely if Bitcoin went down. And then from there, money flowing into alts. And so if Peter Brandt is right, that won't happen, but if he's wrong, then it will happen. And so we shall see. Now we play the waiting game. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Josh Rager. He told his 90,200 followers on the Twitters the following. Let's put this in perspective. Bitcoin is currently only 26% away from its all-time high. Ethereum, on the other hand, is currently over 208% away from an all-time high price. Recently, ETH been outperformed by Bitcoin, but now looks quite bullish and has a lot of space to pump and catch up. And so even though he's talking about ETH and Bitcoin here, this is the type of thing that I was hearing from other analysts again still. It's probably not just ETH from what I keep seeing from people. It's altcoins in general that would pump. So we'll see if that's true. I mean, I don't pretend to know, and that's why I don't offer financial advice. I just think it's fun to follow what all the analysts say and talk about it here. But either way, the whole macro trend, everybody still says it's in place here. And so even if Bitcoin had kept pumping, which was a possibility, and analysts certainly acknowledge it too, maybe the quote unquote face melting of Bitcoin price action would have continued. Even if so, and even if that meant XRP would have traded more or less sideways for a prolonged period of time, still, historically, we know what has happened here. But additionally, what's interesting is kind of the type of price action that, for instance, Blockchain Backer was talking about. If this occurs, is you could see sooner than later, perhaps XRP getting up to closer somewhere in the 65 cent range. And Lub Crypto was saying something fairly similar anyway. He was talking about XRP getting up to 80 cents before the year's out here. And so like those are not crazy parabolic moves up. In crypto, those are pretty normal types of gains. I mean, they're big relative to where XRP is at now. Don't get me wrong. You're talking about a 3 to 4 fold increase from where it is now, but still nowhere near its all time high. So there would still be plenty of opportunity for it to continue to go up, even if there's retracement once those types of levels are hit one day again, assuming they are. And then there's this from Bitcoinist.com. It's a matter of time before Bitcoin hits $20,000 again, says an analyst. And I must admit that I tend to feel the same way. And I didn't want to cover the whole thing, so let me go a little bit. I think it's down here a little bit further. Yeah, I think this is where I wanted to jump in. Raoul Pal, CEO of Real Vision and a former hedge fund manager, agrees with the sentiment. That what they're referencing there again is just the idea of Bitcoin getting up to $20,000. Prior to the ongoing move higher, Paul noticed that the cryptocurrency will see little resistance on a technical scale after it crosses above $14,000. Similar to the chart seen above, Paul shared the chart below highlighting the importance of $14,000 and $20,000 to the Bitcoin chart. And so note that he didn't say no resistance, he said little resistance. Clearly resistance has been hit here, and it's very close to the ranges that Blockchain Backer and Lub Crypto independently were talking about, whereas BC Backer was saying 16 to 16,300, and Lub Crypto was saying anywhere from roughly 16,000 to 16,500, roughly around there. That's where you're going to start to see resistance. And we saw it, Bitcoin has not yet hit $16,000 as I record this anyway. And so it hit resistance just a hair below that, but that's not far off from what either of them were talking about. And so here's the tweet from Rao that they were citing right here. There are literally only 2 resistances left on the Bitcoin chart, 14,000, and then the old all-time high at 20,000. I fully expect new all-time highs by early next year at the latest. And so it's never going to move up in a straight line. So that's where he's talking about significant resistance. And so I just want to be clear, like, you know, even within, like, think about this. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to communicate. Over the last 30 days or so, Bitcoin went from roughly a little over $10,000 to damn near $16,000. And so, like, as far as where people were considering there to be resistance, not really a whole lot. Maybe at $12,000. I think I remember seeing that before it broke through there. But even once it broke that, and then 13 and 14 and 15, like throughout the day, you would see some pullbacks here. There's sometimes by many hundreds of dollars, several hundreds of dollars, whatever it was. But that's not what they're referencing when they're talking about resistance. It's just the case that even without these resistance points, it's not going to move up in a perfectly straight line. And so I think more so, just to be clear, that's what they're talking about, what they're trying to communicate here. So we shall see. And then there was a chart analyst from CryptoComes.com, Dennis Surachuk, and I'll just be real brief with this, but he thinks in the short term it's quite possible that we'll see XRP back up to, he cited, 27.71 cents. And so there we go. And look, with this not being a chart analysis channel, because it's not something that I'm interested in, I'm just interested in the opinions, and it's interesting to share these various ideas from chart analysts. I don't get into the specifics behind this. I just like to share what individuals are thinking, because really nobody else is putting out videos like that. If you want chart analysis, like you can go find that. Like it's not hard to find. You just can't find a bunch of opinions clumped together in one video. So I try and generally just share at least several views in videos where I'm talking about price typically here. Sometimes much more than that though. So we shall see. Look, big picture though, I'm just saying. I since I'm not a trader, mind you, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to patiently hold, as I keep saying, and maybe I'm sounding like a broken record, and fine. I think that there's utility to repetition within the human language. I acknowledge that, and I'm utilizing it. I am going to hold. I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to emotionally buy and sell. I'm here for the long haul, and I firmly believe that XRP will be worth substantially more in the future than it is today. And if I'm wrong, fine, maybe I lose everything because investing is risky. But I am Mr. XRP Bull for a reason, and I sleep easy. I really, really do. And I'm excited to be here. I'd be more panicked if I didn't have the exposure to this asset class that I do. That would make me feel panicky, if anything. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. I'm sleeping easy. But anyway, that is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!